Hi guys, I am K Harshit. Today in my video, we are going to see how to balance a chemical react equation. Now, basically, what do you mean by a chemical reaction? Chemical reaction is nothing but the conversion of the reactants to products. Now, as you can see on your screen, on the LHS side, you have the reactants, and on your RHS side, you have the products. Three or more reactants which are on your LHS side, they combine together and they form as a single product. And then this number of reactants and products depends on the type of equation which we will learn later. Now first, the main definition of chemical reaction is the process of conversion of reactants to products. Now next, what do you mean by chemical equation? Now chemical reaction means I am saying magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. This is a chemical reaction. But if I say Mg plus O2 gives MgO, then this is not an equation, it's a reaction. It's a equation, sorry. This is not a reaction. This, the one which I said, magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide, this is a reaction. Whereas Mg plus O2 gives MgO is an equation. So equation means this symbolic representation of the chemical reaction. Now in reaction I'm pronouncing the whole name of the element, but in the equation I am not doing that. I am just saying the short form of that particular element. So this is the meaning of chemical equation. Next, chemical equation is of two types, that is skeletal equation, balanced equation. What do you mean by skeletal equation? An unbalanced equation, or the amount of reactants and products are not mentioned in a reaction. How much amount of magnesium is required, how much amount of oxygen is required, and how much amount of magnesium oxide is required is not mentioned, then that is called as skeletal equation. The second type, balanced equation, this is where the amount of reactants and products are mentioned. So we need to balance a chemical equation to satisfy the law of mass of conservation. So that's why in chemical equation, balanced equation, we try to balance the masses of the of the reactants and the products. So that's the reason why we need to balance a particular equation. Now in this video we will go through how to balance a given equation. I am going to start with the simplest equation and then go through a complex one. So please do watch the video completely, and at last of the video we have posted some questions there. You may pause the video and you may take a screenshot of that, and you must try to solve the answers and post in the comment section. Then I would surely go through the answer and reply to your answer. The first equation that I am going to start discussing is a simple one, that is magnesium plus oxygen. Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. This is a simple one actually. Magnesium and oxygen gives MgO. Now first, what I'm doing for balancing the equation is we are going to make a small table, and the rows that and the headings that we are going to keep is elements is the first row, elements is the first row, LHS is the second row, RHS is the third one. Elements LHS, RHS. LHS is the reactant side and RHS is the product side. Okay. Now here this first step was to write the to make a small tabular like a structure and give the side headings elements LHS, RHS. The second step that we are going to see is identify the elements. Now in this equation I am having magnesium, oxygen, and again here also this side also magnesium and oxygen. So two main elements are there, they are magnesium and oxygen. So here in this you are having magnesium, in this also you are having magnesium, and this you are having oxygen, and in this also you are having oxygen. Now in LHS side and RHS side, what we are writing is the subscript. Now here Mg is having 1. If nothing is there, then we imagine it as 1. Mg is having its subscript as 1. Oxygen is having its subscript as 2. Oxygen is having subscript as 2.
Similarly, on this side, on the product side or the RHS side, Mg is having subscript only 1 and oxygen is also having 1. Now, why am I drawing this table? Is in this table we are easily able to identify which are balanced and which are unbalanced. Now here magnesium looks like they're balanced because LHS and RHS are equal. But here coming to oxygen, it is 2 here, but here it's 1. So how to balance? We are gonna multiply any of this side with a number to balance them. Now I can't multiply 2 with something to get 1, but I can multiply 1 with something to get 2. That is 1 into 2. 1 into 2 gives me 2. Now this 2 is adding to this oxygen. I cannot write Mg 2O2, just Mg2O. No. So what I am taking, this 2 will be taken common. Out of MgO, 2 will be taken common, and this 2 is applicable for magnesium and oxygen also. So this side it is 2 MgO. Okay. Now this 2 is multiplied with this Mg and even with this oxygen. Already oxygen it is done. Coming to Mg, this Mg is also multiplied with 2. Now here this product becomes 2. Here this is balanced, 2 and 2 balanced, but in balancing, in the case of balancing these both, we have made this both unbalanced. Now this is 2 here, but this is 1. Now what to do in this situation is, again you are going to multiply this with some number to get this number. So 1 into 2, here 2 you are having, so this 2 is added to this Mg, so 2 Mg, and then oxygen is added nothing, so just O2, and it gives rise to 2 MgO. So the balanced equation is 2 Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO. So I'm repeating again how to balance an equation. First step is your first basically what we are doing, we are just writing the equation correctly. We are not we are just writing the equation correctly with all the elements and all the subscripts. So if we are making any number wrong in this equation, then we cannot balance them. So basic concept is to write the given equation correctly. Then the first step for balancing is drawing a tabular column with the rows, elements, LHS and RHS. Okay, next second step is identifying the elements in the given equation. So we are identifying elements, what are all the elements in this equation. Then the third step is we are writing all the subscripts of the elements that we are having. So we have divided LHS, RHS for subscripts of Mg and O in LHS and subscripts of Mg and O in RHS we are writing. And then we are trying to balance them. We are trying to balance them, however we are trying to balance them, and then we are producing a balanced equation. Yes, we are producing a balanced equation. Now we will try with another equation and then we will try to balance that equation. So find the second equation that we are having is Fe iron plus water gives Fe3O4 and H2. So again the basic step is writing the equation. The first step is making the column is already ready, and then next writing the elements. What are all the elements present in the chemical equation? We are dividing them into LHS and RHS and writing them. Now what are the elements we are having? Iron, hydrogen, and oxygen. Here is iron or hydrogen, oxygen. Here iron, oxygen, hydrogen we are having. Now the second step this is done. Coming to the third step, writing the subscripts. FeLHS is 1, H is 2, O is 1. Next, coming to other side, RHS side, Fe is 3, oxygen is 4, okay, hydrogen is 2 here again. Now this seems to be a bit balanced, but it may not be fully balanced because while we are balancing these two Fe and O, this may get again unbalanced. So pick up one thing. Now out of these three, hydrogen looks a bit balanced. So leaving hydrogen, think Fe or oxygen. Try to balance any one of them. Now here if I take Fe, this side is 3, so this side if I just multiply with 3, it's done. So here I get 3 Fe. Okay, 3 Fe I am getting. Next, coming to this oxygen, 1 into 4 again to make it balanced. So here 4, so I should write 4, I should take 4 common and write 4H2O. Yes, 4H2O. Now next, even this is done. So even this is also completed. Now, now next, what here this 4 is multiplied with hydrogen and also with oxygen. So when 4 is getting multiplied with H2, so 2 into 4. Here 2 into 4, so even here also 2 into 4. So when you are writing here 2 into 4 for hydrogen, here it will be getting as 4H2 because the main base equation is having H2. So here this 2 is multiplied with 4, so here I am writing it as 4H2. Done. This 4 and 4 is balanced. 2 4s are 8, 2 4s are 8, this is also balanced. 3 and 3 are balanced, so there is nothing to balance now. And write the one which is which doesn't require any balancing. Done. So now this is the balanced chemical equation. So here also again basically we are writing the equation correctly. We are dividing them into rows and columns, then we are writing the elements, then we are writing the subscripts, then we are balancing them, and then we are giving the equation. Yes, I hope you have understood. Let us try with the third equation. Now the third equation, we will jump to the third equation. So the next equation that we are having is the photosynthesis equation. Yes, CO2 plus H2O gives C6H12O6 and it's O2, sorry, it's an O. So CO2 and H2O in the presence of sunlight, I have not written sunlight here as UN. In the presence of sunlight gives rise to C6H12O6, that is glucose and oxygen. Now, first step, the basic step remains the same, that is writing the equation correctly. Then the second step is writing the elements. What are the elements? Carbon is one element, oxygen is one element, hydrogen is one element. Okay. Now here we are having a problem. Oxygen is 2 times. That's the reason I have selected this equation. Now carbon is only once and it's having 1. Here carbon is a 6. Yes, here it's 1, here it's a 6. Next oxygen. I will let oxygen at last. Coming to hydrogen. Hydrogen here it is 2 and here in this hydrogen is 12. Next, coming to oxygen. Now how to write oxygen? Here you are having oxygen subscript 2 and even 1. How you are writing this? 2, first subscript 2, first number is 2 and then after O2 you are having plus and 1. So 2 plus 1. I am repeating again, it is CO2 and H2O. So O2 and O are there. Between O2 and O, you are having a plus symbol. So here, out of this CO2, 2 you are taking, and out of this H2O, 1 O you are taking. Similarly, here also, you are having 6 plus 2. 6 plus 2. Now this is 3, 6, 7, 8. This is 8. Now see, everything is unbalanced here. If you see, everything is unbalanced. First, I'm choosing carbon because it's just a multiplication of 1 with 6. Now this 6 is to be added here. So 6CO2. Yes, 6 into C is already done and then 6 into O2. 6 into O2 means for this 2 we need to multiply with 6. 2 6 are 12 plus 1 is 13. Yes, next. Then let me check with hydrogen. Here it's 2 and here it's 12. So 2 into what we get 12 is 2 6 are 12. So here again this hydrogen H2O should be added with 6. So 6 times of H2O. Yes. So again this 6 is multiplied with H2, done, and then even with this oxygen. Okay, so here this 1 is multiplied with the 6. So what we are getting is 2 6 are 12 plus 6. 12, 18. Yes, next. Now this is 18 here and it is 6 plus 2, 8. So more 10, 10 is 10 numbers are required to make this both balance. How are we balancing? How are we trying to balance these both? Yes, how are we trying to balance? Can anyone, if you know the answer, please comment, stop the video, try to think, and then please post the answer in the comment section. Okay, well, now what about this part now? What about oxygen? Oxygen is only remaining unbalanced. Now, in this oxygen, we are having in this whole oxygen, we are having two parts. That is, one is oxygen from glucose, one is an independent oxygen. Now, I am not touching this oxygen, but I am touching this oxygen. O2. So, I should deal something with this 2 so that when this is multiplied with something and 6 is added, you get 80. Because I am not touching 6 because this is already complicated, and now if I touch this 6, then I need to change whole these all. I need to even change carbon and hydrogen if I touch this part. So I'm just going with the independent oxygen. So for this 2, what you will multiply so that after getting the product you add this 6 and you get the product as 18, the sum as 18. What I am doing, this 2 is multiplied with 6. What do you get? 6 plus 2 6 are 12 will exactly give you 80. Yes, 6 plus 12 exactly gives you 80. So you need to get the idea at that spot that we need not touch this part but this part, and this part should be multiplied with some number so that if that when added to this number will give you the exact value. So as I have multiplied this 2 with 6, so here you get again 6 more 2, and in middle this is this we didn't touch, so this will be written as it is, C6 H12O6. So this is the balanced chemical equation that we have bought from the how we have learned how we can balance the photosynthesis equation. So instead of remembering these numbers, you can just remember the statement and then you can balance them on this spot. So the fourth equation that I'm going to discuss is Zn plus HCl gives zinc chloride and hydrogen. So this is the basic concept that is writing the equation correct. Next, writing the elements, that is zinc, hydrogen and chlorine are the elements that we are having. So zinc, hydrogen and chlorine. Now zinc is having subscription as subscript as 1, hydrogen is having 1, chlorine is also having 1. Next, coming to the RHS side, zinc is having 1, okay, then hydrogen is having 2, and here chlorine is having 1. Okay, now first I'm going with hydrogen, 1 into 2 here, so 2 HCl we get, yes. So out of this 2 HCl, this 2 is gone with hydrogen and chlorine. Already hydrogen is done, so with chlorine 1 into 2. Next, here 2, so here also 2. Now this hydrogen multiplied with 2 is multiplied with hydrogen and chlorine. So chlorine here is already done, so coming with hydrogen. Now if even here also we are having 2. So chlorine, as we multiplied 2 with hydrogen and chlorine, so 2 times of Cl here and also 2 times of Cl here. So in this we are writing 2 ZnCl. So 2 ZnCl. Now this 2 is with the Zn and Cl. Cl is already done with the Zn, zinc. So zinc also into 2. So 2 times of zinc here. So 2 zinc, 2 Zn plus 2 HCl is giving 2 ZnCl plus H is remains the same, that is H2. Yes, H remains same, H2. So here also same, the formula, the equation correct, the